Hi, and welcome to our hunting camp in Madison, Florida, where I'm preparing to make our Thanksgiving meal for tomorrow. Today, I'd like to share with you my homemade recipe for banana pudding. It's quick and easy, especially when you don't necessarily have all of the tools and utensils that you would have in your own kitchen at home. And so for the ingredients, we're going to start out with some fresh bananas. Sometimes I like to leave them sit out for a few days depending on how ripe they are. But to suit today's purpose, we're going to use the fresh bananas. 1 box of vanilla instant pudding. And I like the instant pudding because it doesn't have to sit in the refrigerator as long. So pretty much as soon as I get done preparing this, my family is ready to eat it. With that, we'll also need 3 cups of cold milk, vanilla wafers. It doesn't matter what kind, any kind is fine as long as they're fresh. And to top it off, typically I would use a homemade meringue to go over the top, but for time purposes, we're just going to cheat a little bit and use nothing other than Cool Whip. So we're going to start with our box of instant vanilla pudding. I prefer the vanilla over the banana, but you can certainly use banana as well. So we're just going to pour the contents of the packet into our mixing bowl. We're going to add 3 cups of milk, and we're just going to stir our pudding vigorously, and within minutes you'll notice that it's already becoming actual pudding. And now that we have our pudding good and stirred and it's thickened up, we just want to stick it in the refrigerator for 5 or 10 minutes just to give it time to thicken up just a little bit more before we add our other ingredients. So our next step is going to be to add our fresh bananas. There's really no set amount. It's just a matter of preference. If you like a lot of bananas, add a lot of bananas. If you don't, add a few. I like to add enough to make sure that my family is going to get a bite of banana with every bite of pudding. But we also have to take into consideration that we're going to be adding cookies, so we certainly need to leave enough room for the vanilla wafers. So there's that. Now we're just going to grab a handful of vanilla wafers. Do it, and we're just going to mix those in with the bananas. And I know they're going to want a few more cookies, so I'm just going to grab another handful. Does it. This is very, very inexpensive, very quick, and you just can't go wrong with good old-fashioned banana pudding. All right, and for our final step, which is the most delightful, we're going to take our Cool Whip and just spread it lightly across the top. Just like so. As I said earlier, the meringue is really a pleasant topping for banana pudding, but it does take more ingredients and more time, and Lots of practice. All right, I think that does it for our Cool Whip. And so our very last step, which is not a necessity, more just to make it look pretty, we're just going to add some vanilla wafers around the edges. Which everyone is sure to pick out and eat. And one pretty one for the top. My hands. And there you have it. Within minutes, a beautiful homemade banana pudding. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today and making our homemade banana pudding. I hope that it was enjoyable for you as much as it was for me. And from our family to yours, have a happy and blessed Thanksgiving.